I've never seen a boat that can raise a fish like a Viking does. I'm fishing to raise fish. I'm not fishing to
Right.
fish.
The Omni-Sonar? Is that what you
Correct.
got?
Yeah, we do.
How do you like that?
I like it. I mean, look, he actually was using it in the Viking Key West Challenge in about 180 foot of water. And he said, guys, there's 4 fish coming up at you right now. I don't know what they are, but they're coming. And sure enough, it was 4 sails, and we caught all 4, and we landed all 4.
You had a quad on.
We did, yeah.
That's
and
sick.
he identified it with the sonar, which not a lot of people could do.
No.
You've landed on the science of fishing, where passion meets precision. Before we dive in, we would like to thank Bloody Battery, Sea Mule, and Black Reef Co. for sponsoring this episode.
What's going on, guys? Mark here with another episode of The Science of Fishing. We're here sitting down with Shane Guidry, owner of Team Harvey here. We're here at the catch. We're going to talk to Shane. We're going to have a good time. How are you doing, sir?
Great. Looking forward to a good time this week.
Yeah. You excited to get out there with some NFL players?
We are. I think it's to be interesting. It'll be something a little different to do, that's for sure.
Right. That's cool. So, Team Harvey, right? So, where did that come from? Tell me a little bit about it, and tell me a little bit about your fishing experience.
It kind of originated from my company, which was started 75 years ago as a fishing business. And in the early 50s, my grandfather moved it to Harvey, Louisiana, and called it, after the area he lived in, which was Harvey, and turned into Harvey Golf. And when I decided to get back into tournament fishing in a bigger way and include a lot of my clients from that particular business that I own, I just thought Team Harvey was the right name for it.
I like it. So it was a fishing business before.
It started out as a fishing business in 1946, and in 1955, he turned it into a tugboat business.
Okay. Very cool. Interesting. Very cool. So your experience with fishing, so it's been in your blood for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on the water, and I grew up in Bayou Lafourche, fishing and hunting, so it's been in me for a long time.
So you're a golf guy.
A Gulf of Mexico guy,
yeah.
We are. We definitely Gulf of Mexico and Bayou waterways of Louisiana guys.
Okay. So from my understanding, your fleet's pretty big, right?
Yeah, on the commercial side it is. On the pleasure side, it's 8 or 10 boats.
That's still pretty big, man.
Well,
what do you got? What's the 8 or 10 boats you got?
We have a 130 Westport, and we have a 72 Viking. We're building the new 82 Viking now, and we have an Invincible. We have Yellowfins. We have a Freeman. We have Mastercraft boats. We have Shearwaters. Just a whole bunch of different boats. Of course, that doesn't count all the different boats that we do for duck hunting that we have, and
right.
Of course, bass fishing.
You duck hunt. I'm a big duck hunter.
Yeah,
I love it.
Hunters, yeah. So
that's cool. You got a big camp somewhere?
We do, yeah. So we have one in South Louisiana. So,
okay. Very cool. So down there on the bayou?
It is, yes. Actually, this particular camp we did duck hunting is in rice fields.
Okay.
But then we have our fishing camp that's in Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Okay.
Which is some of the best fishing in the world.
Yeah. I fished out of Venice before, but I have not out of there. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Venice is just as good. It's just not as nice.
Yeah. So you got a pretty substantial fleet. What's your favorite boat to fish on?
In front of me, I have the Flushmaster by Sea Mule. This little device simplifies the process for flushing your engines. All it takes is 3 easy steps. Plug the hose into the device, plug the hoses from the device into your motors, and press on. That's all it takes to preserve the longevity of your motors, ensuring 100% clean water is running through them. So if you want to preserve your motors, go to seamule.com and go pick up a Flushmaster.
It depends, right? So if I'm just going out for the day, it's hard to beat that Freeman. I mean, that thing is like riding a Rolls Royce on the road versus, riding a Toyota Camry on the road. So
right.
I really like that. But for overnight trips, you just can't beat that 72 Viking. I mean, it's an amazing machine, and I've owned a lot of different boats, and I've never seen a boat that can raise a fish like a Viking does.
Really?
Yeah, it just has a harmonic sound, I think, that attracts fish rather than scares it away. So I've been in a lot of tournaments, and I've seen a lot of different types of boats around us, and they're just not catching anything within a mile of me.
Really?
And, here we are, raising 4 or 5 marlin, in a day. And I just think that 72 Viking, just has a sound that the fish really like. And, it's interesting. Back in the day, you always caught a lot of your marlin on the long line that you were trailing behind. But these marlin come right up to the boat to take a look, right in the teaser.
They want to check it out.
Yeah, they want to check it out, right? So I hope that 82 has it,
I was going to say, how you feeling about the new boat?
Well, I was up there yesterday at the factory, and I told Pat, I said, I sure hope this boat makes the same sound as the 72. Otherwise, I'll be building the 72 and selling this one.
Oh, yeah? Will you really?
Yeah, I would. I mean, listen, I'm fishing to raise fish. I'm not fishing to fish.
Right. So you're a marlin fisherman, true, tried and true marlin fisherman.
Yeah, I like the whites, love the blues more than anything.
Yep.
Sailfish is a bonus and something to do in between. But, You know, I like a heavy tackle, right? I'm not so much into those like these young kids want to fish these Talica 25s and these BFC 20s and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. I'll watch and do it, but I like seeing a big fight. And a
You
big
want to
fight.
haul that thing in.
I do. I want to bring that thing to the dock, and right, and I'll be playing, you know, the right song in my cockpit when we pull up with that winning fish, and
Right.
they grab hold to it on that scale, and everybody cheers. You know, it's the fun part.
How you feel about tuna? They give it.
Look, I love tuna fishing.
Yeah.
You know, I've caught a lot of tuna, over 200 pounds, and this year we kind of got away from that, the big wahoo and tuna that we like to go catch out of Grand Island, Venice, and we did the sailfish circuit from you know, Palm Beach down to Key West, and it was fun. It was interesting. We figured it out. You know, look, feeding those goggle eyes and those other live baits that you fish with, and, you know, pumping them up with food and making them real lively is the key. And we figured that out later on in the season, and you know, we did well as time went on, and we'll have to weigh, you know, what we do next year. Maybe we'll do a combination of the two, kind of fly back and forth and
Right.
spend more time, half our time catching the tuna and big wahoo in the Gulf of Mexico, and then head on over maybe every other week and continue to do some of the sailfish stuff since we really got down pat.
I was right next to you guys during Operation Sailfish. We were fishing right next to y'all. Dude, that boat looks nice. That 72 with Team Harvey right in the back.
Yeah, you know, we brought it to my shipyard and redid it. You know, we wanted to have our own look. You know, I'm kind of a guy that believes that a yacht should be white. You know, it's nothing prettier than a white yacht
Yeah.
on top of blue water, right?
Yep. I mean, that's what they're made for, right?
That's right.
They look pretty right on the water.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were slaying some fish that day. I remember you guys did all right. So that's awesome. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
No, I appreciate you having us. You know, we're happy to be here with you, and we're happy to, you know, be part of the SFC and the catch and see what happens.
Yeah. So Sport Fishing Championship. This is what? This is your second season or third season?
This is our first season.
First
we're newcomers
season.
to
Newcomers.
SFC, yeah.
Okay. How do you feel? Are you ready for the season? What's
Yeah,
going through your mind?
You know, I mean, listen, yeah, you know, we got a good team. You know, I run my boat a little different than I think most people.
How so?
Well, you know, first, I'm not afraid to spend money, which is a good thing.
That's always good.
my crew, but I have 4 captains on board
4.
and 1 mate. Now, the captains do have to get down on the deck, right, and work with the mate, right, because
Yeah.
it's going to take a few people. And I bring seasoned, you know, guys in as anglers as well for the tournament. So, you know, we got a good mix. But, you know, I got a guy that's really good in the Gulf. He's caught a lot of fish. I got a guy that's really good in Bahamas. Has caught a lot of fish. I got a guy that's really good up in the Northeast, which will be going in August. That's caught a lot of fish. And, you know, I got a guy from Puerto Rico and we want to head down, you know, south, St. Thomas, Caribbean, down to Puerto Rico and do some fishing. It's his backyard. So,
Yeah.
you know, if we're going to move around as much as we plan on doing, you know, a good mix of guys, you know, with over 100 years experience on the boat is kind of what I like, rather than, you know, one captain who likes,
It's an insurance policy.
yeah, exactly, right. One guy's in charge, you know, may have a bad day today and not lead the crew, the boat the right way. So
Right.
at least everybody gets together in the morning and has a great discussion. I sit in those. You know, what's the best course of action today to catch fish? And
Right.
we all agree on what that may be based on the current and the winds and the water temperature and different things.
So the egos don't get in the way. They're cohesive. They work.
Yeah, there's no ego allowed in the boat other than mine.
Yeah. Yours has got to be the biggest in the room. That's it. That's all that's allowed.
I'm writing the checks, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know that. But so you have a subject matter expert in each area.
We
essentially.
do. Yep. So, you know, and of course one of the captains is an expert in the sonar. He just started with me this year.
The Omni-Sonar? Is that what you
Correct. Yeah, we do. We
How do you
have
like
Omni
that?
360. I like it. You know, I mean, look, he actually was using it in the Viking Key West Challenge in about 180 foot of water. And he said, guys, there's 4 fish coming up at you right now. I don't know what they are, but they're coming. And sure enough, it was 4 sails, and we caught all 4, and we landed all 4.
You had a quad on.
We did, yeah.
That's
and
sick.
he identified it with the sonar, which not a lot of people can do.
No, it takes a lot of
It's
skill.
shallow water, yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill to really know how to use those things, and they're expensive, right?
Yeah. I mean, but they're worth it. You know, it just takes one tournament, big check
Well,
to agree.
I got a question for
Spend
you.
the money.
A lot of guys are saying that should be a separate division, right? What do you feel?
You know, I mean, look, there are some tournaments in the Gulf that, you know, it's you can get in the Sonar Calcutta or not. You
Right.
know, so it's not then a separate division that I can remember overall for the win, but for the money it is.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's kind of what people may be looking for.
Right. Because I feel like some people can't afford it, right? Or I don't know. I
And
guess on
listen,
that
you know,
point,
listen, even if you can afford it, I mean, listen, it's not as simple as putting it on auto and thinking it's going to work for you. You
Yeah.
have to really be dialed into it. You have to really know how to constantly be changing those settings.
right?
to really make a difference. Because when it sends out that signal, you need that signal back in the right amount of time. You need that signal back telling you the right thing too.
Right, right. It takes
And you have to identify what that signal is all about, what that on that screen says.
right. So are all your captains well versed in that? They all
So, I'm a big purchaser of Fruno equipment because I have, 50 ships out there in commercial trade that has, just an unbelievable amount of equipment in the pilot house to run these DP vessels. So, I had my guys call Fruno because felt like I wasn't getting the right person to come train my people up. And I said, listen, you call them, you tell them I need somebody here to train my people because JRC wants all my business. And it's a lot.
yeah.
They call back the next day and say, we're not going to send you one, we're going to send you 4, the entire team coming.
There you go.
So, so everybody's trained up really well. Of course, one captain, Corey Kennington, he's pretty much an expert at it. He's also a guy that trains on it. So, we're really happy and pleased to have him with us this fishing season. And hopefully, he stays with us for many years to come.
Sure. So what are you looking forward to most this season? You said it's your first time with the Sport Fishing Championship. They're having this amazing event, the Catch, but there's a long season ahead, right?
Yeah,
What do you? What's going through your mind?
For me, it's a couple things. Look, I enjoy getting out to events. I can go fishing in my camping ground out every day just for fun, right? But it's nice meeting people and having good competition and getting on the radio, right, and talking back and forth when you're on a fish and make sure we stay out of each other's way. I'm also looking forward to this year getting out of the Gulf, and we did that, and doing a lot of Bahamas fishing and up through the North Atlantic, and we're still trying to get a slip in Cabo. If we get lucky enough to get that, then we'll end up there in the fourth quarter fishing those tournaments. But just looking forward to doing some different fishing and meeting some different people.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be definitely cool.
It will be different, yeah.
So do you have any memorable fish from the past seasons that you've done all these tournaments and all that?
Yeah, listen, it's been a long time since I've fished heavy like this, but in the 80s we had a Halter 60 that we had built and owned and fished on. It had a harmonic noise from being an all-aluminum boat.
Yep.
That just, fish went crazy for it.
It was a fish raiser.
It was. So we caught a lot of, 6, 7, 8, 900-pound fish. Back in the day. And that was fun. But listen, that was when things were different, though. That was back when it took you 2, 3, 4, 5 hours to get a fish in a boat. But today, the way these boats are built, you can really get after and get those fish to the boat quick. Last year was a good, fun year for us. I hadn't done it in about 10 years. And we took delivery of the boat in July, and we fished 3 or 4 tournaments. And, we were raising 3 and 4 blues a day. So
that's pretty cool.
That was fun, especially when, you're in a tournament with 40, 50 other boats and, only maybe 8 or 10 boats are catching fish. So,
right.
But again, that 72 Viking, wow, man, it's just a boat that has a sound that just attracts the boat.
I'm going to send this to Pat Healy after this. You're going to be spokesperson for them.
I like the Healy family, and listen, I have good friends that have F&S and other buddies that have Baylesses. And look, they're all nice boats at the end of the day, but not all boats raise fish. Some boats have a sound that drive fish away.
Yep.
Some boats have a sound that drive the fish right to you. And
what kind of motors do you have in your boat?
we have the ML96 MTUs, so we have the big ones. We believe in speed. I like to burn fuel. I got a fuel boat that follows me around, so I like running 40 knots. I just believe that's the engine's built for it. I think you should, run it at 90%, all the time.
Tell me a little bit. You have a fuel boat that runs with you during all these tournaments?
Not all of them, because luckily in the Atlantic, you can come in every night.
Yeah.
But in the Gulf of Mexico and other places that we like to fish, down in Texas and or Mexico, it's not easy to get fuel. So I'll just take one of my supply boats that has 150,000 gallons of fuel on board, and I'll put a tank on deck, and I'll feed to the tank, and the tank will feed to me, and we have a fendering system set up. And
Wow.
yeah, and then what's nice about that too is we have a big crew on those boats, so we also have self-launching rescue boats that can sit 12 people. So, we have the chefs on board. Those boats bring us breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so we have to deal with that.
That's
Which is
pretty
nice
cool.
because you have to stay out there sometimes 2 or 3 nights at a time.
Yeah. It becomes a lot when you're out there. And
It does, yeah.
So you get your own space, which is pretty nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
nice, right? And it gets really rough. We can get off and get in the big boat and get a better night's rest.
Right. Very cool. So you're telling me a little bit about, back in the 80s, right? You have one fish that stands out to you from the 80s.
I do, yeah. So we have one fish that we fought for about 7 hours.
7 hours.
And it finally died. And it had been a nice win. It had been a heck of a payday. It was really big back when the New Orleans Invitational was a big tournament in Louisiana. And that's the one that would have been a record setter for that particular tournament. That's been around for, I guess, 50 years.
How big do you think that fish was?
Oh, it was a grander.
Really?
It was a big fish.
Have you ever caught a grander before?
I have not, so that's our goal this year.
You chasing them?
To boat a grander. We're going to chase them this year, yep, there's no doubt. We hope to get one. Last October, I guess you saw that big one that was caught in the Gulf. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, oh, my gosh. I mean, that'd be nice to catch this
Oh,
season.
yeah.
And I don't care where we catch it. Even if it's not a money tournament, it'd be nice to raise one of those.
Well, it's a trophy in and of itself, right?
It is.
It's incredible. You know Anthony Shea, who I'm talking about, Bad Company?
I do, yeah.
He's chasing them all around.
He's hit me up a few times, and I've hit him back up. But
Yeah.
he's definitely chasing those granders, but I don't know. Sometimes you might need to spend a lot of time in one place to get one.
Right.
Moving around sometimes.
We're going to see you at all doing something overseas or anything like that? Or?
We're going to consider it. We're talking about it. We certainly have the fleet to do it. And, I got boats as big as 300 foot long that could support me. Hell, I got cranes on the back of some of my boats that I could lift them, the Viking, and put on the back of it and go where I want. I got some big cranes on those boats.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
You're the boss, man.
Yeah, we'll have to see, Right now I'm enjoying the Atlantic, so I'm going to suck up some of that and hopefully, make it down to Cabo end of the year and next year, make it down to Costa Rica and do some fishing as well, yeah.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, I sat down with Anthony a few weeks ago, and we just got really into what he's all about and all that, and he's doing some cool stuff. I think he's in. I called him a couple days ago. He was in West Africa.
Yeah,
remote places.
Not something I would do because I actually have businesses in Nigeria and Kenya and Mozambique, and we haven't had good experiences there, even with commercial boats.
Really?
So, yeah,
Pirates or what?
We've had pirates try to board the boat. People try to do
really.
It. Now we have military on board, so.
I was gonna say, do you have firearms on board and you're ready to go? Or
what we do is, if we're going to work in those areas, we make the oil companies put the local military on board, pay for it. So they have a weapons closet on board. Some of the boats we actually have razor wire around the back decks, and
really,
we have drones that they launch. Looking for small boats that they can hit with the 50 cal before they.
So you got some special operations going.
Yeah, we do. Trying to bring oil to the world so that we can keep the fuel price down so Americans can and other countries can drive cars.
It's been pretty crazy the way the things have been going, right? And
it has. We'll have to see what happens. There's no doubt. So we have actually 3 boats just pulling into Las Palmas in about 10 days, and they're slated to go to Israel and do a job, but we'll have to see if that works out.
Well, we'll see. I guess we will.
Yeah.
I hope it works out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I hope so. So, Sport Fishing Championship and the Catch, right? We're here at the Catch right now. What are you looking forward to the most out of this tournament?
I think for me, I'm all about having a good time and meeting new people. So I think I'm looking forward to getting the NFL guys on board my boat and seeing what kind of relationship we could build with them and see if they can, show them a good time and see if they can, learn how to reel those fish in. Because look, let's just face it, on that light tackle with those small hooks, those sailfish are kind of finicky. So, we got
to be careful.
We have to make sure big boys don't pull those hooks right out of their mouth, right? Yeah. So I think that'll be interesting to interact with those guys and see if we can get them to realize they're not lifting up 400-pound dumbbells every day. They're lifting a little 40-pound
right.
pieces. String here.
Those sailfish, it's a finesse game. You're on 30-pound leader,
so we'll have to make sure they understand that.
Well, you guys will be dialed in. You guys always are. I see.
Yeah, look, we got a good group of boys that do the sailfish with us. And they can catch them, but to the extent that we're going to put that rod in one of these 6'8" guys that weigh 325 pounds, we got to make sure they understand exactly what to do here.
Right. I like it. Well, I'm looking forward to watching you guys out there. I'm going to see you on TV. It'll be cool, and I'll be with you guys throughout the season. So we'll catch up again some point.
Thanks for having us. It's great.
Of course.
Yeah.
Good to meet you too, sir.
Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Check out Team Harvey. They're going to put on a kick-ass show at the Catch, and we'll see them later this season. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Science of Fishing. We hope that this episode was helpful and you learned something for the next time you're wetting a line. Before we cast off, a special thanks to our sponsors, Bloody Battery, Sea Mule, and Black Reef Company. Stay hooked by following us on social media at Science of Fishing and hitting the subscribe button. And if you know someone who'd enjoy this, please share it with them. Until we meet again, catch 'em up.